Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And there is that saying, play silly games, win silly prizes. And this is a playing of a silly game that's certainly, hopefully, anyway, going to end up with a very silly prize. We have a man, a pretendy Wendy. He's in prison, but he's in a ladies' prison because he likes to pretend being a lady. And he has committed an offence within the prison, and he's harmed a female prison officer. Now, under current sort of rulings, any man who pretends to be a woman and harms a woman, causes physical harm against a woman, must go to a male jail. It's the latest ruling after all the Adam Graham controversy and that, and so they're trying to move these pretendy Wendy's into male jails and looking for any excuse to do so, just to end the problems that it's causing. So we have this guy. He likes to call himself Paris Green. It's not his real name, but he likes to call himself Paris Green, which is, I think, is the name of an old kind of toxic paint. I think it's like a paint with lead and arsenic in it, as I remember. I think it's one of those odd ones that were taken off because they're so appallingly toxic, which I think, therefore, is quite apposite. So you have this toxic paint, and this toxic prisoner's named himself after it. Do check that out. I will have to Google that later, but I'm pretty sure Paris Green is like a lead and arsenic paint. Anyway, this guy, Paris Green, he's had this altercation with a prison officer, broken the fingers and whatever. Now he's committed this act against a female. And so he will have to be moved. By the rules, he'll have to be moved and put into male jail, which of course is the last place he wants to go. And so he's trying to fight the extradition to where he ought to be rather than where he is. We'll have a look here. And this piece is trying to make us all feel all very sympathetic towards him. I don't feel sympathetic towards this man at all. He has ended the life of another human being. He deserves nothing. Anyway, we'll take a look, see what's going on, and let's hope he does get moved to where he needs to be, where he ought to be, where he should have been from day one. Here goes. Between the opening and this, I did actually go and Google it, and Paris Green, it is a paint, but it's also an insecticide and whatever. And that's where I'd heard from it. They used it to kill all the rats in Paris. So that's why it's called Paris Green. I knew I'd heard of it. Scott's trans prisoner fears male jail move ahead of claim of attack on female prison officer. Paris Green, not his real name, serving life for the of Robert Shankland, had cannabis seized from his cell in a woman's wing of the Edinburgh prison and was accused by staff of chucking a tantrum. And there's a picture of him here, and of course he's doing that usual thing where you have to get the angle right to hide the old madam's apple and make himself look more female. Well, you can see on the top lip there, I think he's ready for a little shave there. I think his moustacho is nearly as full as mine. Scotland's longest serving trans prisoner fears being moved to a male jail after being accused of assaulting a female prison officer. Well, don't do it then. Paris Green, serving life for the ending of Robert Shankland, had ceased from his cell in the woman's wing of Edinburgh prison, was accused by staff of chucking a tantrum, and reports said a door was slammed, catching the warden's hand and breaking fingers. And that should be enough then. That is a deliberate act of, physical attack. And that should be enough to move this man from the female wing to the male wing and put him in with the big men. And I'm sure the big men will be very welcoming of a very soft-spoken, slightly effeminate man who will be, I'm sure, a willing participant in some very tender lovemaking. A friend of Green said the incident was exaggerated and source said the cell door had jammed rather than slammed. Bless. Green, who hopes to have the sex change surgery, top or bottom, I guarantee it'll just be the top, won't it? Was reported internally, but will now be subject to a fresh risk assessment by the Scottish Prison Service Management. Good. And let's hope that they don't show the usual sort of callow cowardice and craven attitude, and actually do say, no, time's up, lad, back in the male jail. First Minister Humza Yousaf recently stated that any trans prisoner who'd been guilty of attacking or sex crimes against women would be held in male jails. This followed the embarrassment for the Scottish Government when Adam Graham allowed to self-identify as Isla Bryson and was earmarked to serve time at Cornton Vale, despite R-ing 2 women. Talk about putting the fox in the henhouse. The public outcry forced a rethink, and the Ara was sent to a male estate where he still resides and apparently hates it every day because the men in there are just taking the piss all the time. They don't treat him as a woman, they treat him as a weirdo. And it's funny that, isn't it? Funny. Green's friend, who served time with him but is now free, said Paris doesn't know whether people are messing with his head, but he now faces a fresh risk assessment after a female prison officer, someone he really likes, was injured. He was told that if he is found to pose a risk to female prisoners or staff, he can't be amongst women. He is absolutely terrified, especially knowing that Sophie Eastwood, another ender of a human life, has recently been moved to a male prison. Fellow lifer Eastwood was moved to the all-male Shots recently from Cordon Vale after 6 years amongst female inmates, despite claiming he would not survive in the male estate. He seemed to be surviving fine, I'm presuming, because he has something they want. Eastwood, who ended the life of cellmate Paul Algie in age 22, in prison in 2004, when he was called Daniel, he still is, said he had no history of gender attacking, but was still moved. Well, he obviously did have a history of physicality. He ended the life of someone in prison. That's enough, I think. Green's friend said, I spent time alongside Paris and he is a really calm presence. He fits in well with the other women, and he doesn't ask for or expect to be treated any differently. Yes, he does. He expects to be treated as a woman. And I've never seen him angry. The regime in Scottish jails means prisoners spend longer than before in their cells. Good. Especially with dinner served at 4:30. Everyone knows that substances get into prison aren't usually a priority when there is a crackdown. They make the environment more relaxed. There should be none of this in prison. They should be there to concentrate on what they have done. That should be the only thing they are thinking about. They should have their crimes listed on the back of the door and forced to confront them every day. Every so often there are searches and someone loses their gear. Oh dear, what a shame. Never mind, moving on. And it can be hard as you wonder how you'll get through the days, never mind the long nights. That's the whole point of prison. She said, I can't believe Paris would react with any kind of, physicality, and I fear for his safety if he's moved. He has been a woman throughout his time in jail. No, he hasn't. He's been a man pretending to be a woman throughout his time in jail, and he looks, talks, and acts like a woman. No, he doesn't. He wouldn't be safe among male prisoners. I think he'll be very safe among male prisoners. One of them in particular will take a shine to him and protect him, and he will be their bitch. Oh dear, never mind. Let's hope that old top-lip fuzzboy hiding his madam's apple does have a great time in the male jail. Let's hope he's taken under somebody's wing and loved deeply and shown a lot of affection. A lot. That, of course, will be the ultimate punishment, wasn't it? When Bubba wants you. Anyway, I shall round off. I shall come up and we shall just think... Thank heavens he's being moved to a man jail. Oh, well, hopefully, thank heavens, he'll be moved to a male jail where he needs to be and where they won't put up with his shit. Coming up. And of course, that will be the difference. If he's in a male jail and he throws his little hissy fit and tantrums, the men in there ain't going to stand by like the women will because they're not, they're not scared of him. In a female jail, he rules the roost. He cock of the walk, as they say, because he's got that physicality. In the male jail, nah, he hasn't got that. He throws a little hissy fit there, and some big fella will just knock his lights out. It's going to be a wake-up call, isn't it? Still, do the crime, got to do the time. Never mind. Here's my sympathy. Nope, haven't got any. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and remember, men belong in men's prisons, women in women, and ne'er the twain should meet. Bye.